This podcast is part of the Global Sports Podcast Network, the only network bringing you exclusive daily news and views on your Premier League team, the Premier League, women's football, and fantasy football. A unique listening experience that puts fans first, bringing you the very latest breaking news from your team. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and make us your first listen every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network. Every club, every day.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Daily English Premier League podcast and the Daily Arsenal podcast on the Global Sports Podcast Network. My name is Louie, Easton, and we have got a stacked lineup of podcasters on today. Michał Czarniecki will be joining me as the co-host, and we have got Jamie, Craig and Esmonde joining us from the Daily Arsenal podcast. What a match. We'll get straight into it. Arsenal 3, Real Madrid 0. You're all nodding your heads, you're all smiling. Esmonde, I'll come to you first. How good does that sound?
I think Jamie says it best, but I'll just say it. I won't sing it, but I think we got him half price. It's Declan Rice. I mean, like, what a time to score. Well, I think it's been like 3 years, Jamie and Craig, since we scored a direct free kick.
Yeah.
And he goes and scores a Roberto Carlos and a David Beckham all in one match against one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Unbelievable. I mean, like, I've got like a different like group chat that I used to do a football podcast with back in the day at university, and the United fans aren't too happy in that chat. They're quite. Some of them are stress eating. Some of them are gone and watched Netflix. Some of them, I think they're trying to take a stroll with an imaginary pet that they don't have. So, like, it's all good, man. The narrative's good, man. The vibes in London are good. And I'm sure you, Craig and Jamie are feeling even better, even more ecstatic.
Oh my goodness.
Jamie, would you like to reflect? I mean, I'd be absolutely speechless. I mean, okay, I'll ask you this, Jamie. In the Arteta era, is this the best you've ever felt as an Arsenal fan?
Yes. Hands down, yes. I mean, don't get it twisted. Winning the FA Cup, brilliant. If you want to throw the Community Shield in, go ahead and throw the Community Shield in.
Doesn't compare to this, though, does it?
Oh my gosh, just under the lights at the Emirates, North London Forever playing, the Champions League anthem, full house, and I'm just sat here just re-watching that Declan Rice free kick. Just beautiful.
Which one?
Exactly. Well, they've just shown the first one, but I need to see the second one again, because that second free kick was just like I said at the start of the recording, boys. If you had to look up in the Oxford Dictionary top bins, I'm very sure you would find that as the definition of top bins.
You're not wrong.
Also, I think they also call it the croissant, if my memory serves me correctly.
The croissant,
probably, because it like the ball had like this nice swerve into it. But guys,
okay.
Yeah, and actually, Louis, of course, with your kind permission there, I would like to ask you guys, how do you feel with the fact that Declan Rice managed to pull that off while Mbappé was just watching how it should be done? Because it's been, I think somebody made actually like an X account with how many days have passed since Mbappé had actually scored directly from a free kick. We're talking about, I think, at least hundreds of days already.
I mean, he scored that one recently that was like laid off, but it was nowhere near as good as Rice. And I mean, it's the fact that these are the only 2 free kicks Declan Rice has ever scored. What a time to do it. Craig, I mean, did you see that coming when he stepped up for either of them?
Yeah, he had one against Everton last week, and if he put it in the same corner tonight, he would have scored. He put it right onto the hands of Pickford. He put it even corner, he scored. So tonight, when he did it, I was like, wow. The first one was amazing. The second one was even better. It went right on the top of the net. No keeper saving that. So, yeah.
It doesn't get better. I mean, it's both goal and occasion for him to do it after a goalless first half, and he does those two in the space of less than 15 minutes. Esmonde, I'll come back to you. What were you thinking at halftime when it was 0-0? How did you see the first half?
To be honest, I had a really good feeling throughout the whole match. So just a disclaimer. So obviously the Arsenal guys know. I've been away for like 3 months in America, doing a show, and like I bumped into this guy in Boston who happened to be British, and we were watching the Atletico game, and we were going, oh man, like who he was asking me, who would you prefer, like Atletico Madrid or Real Madrid? This is before the penalty fiasco, and I was like, you know what, I prefer Real Madrid. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, I prefer Real Madrid because Atletico Madrid are going to park the bus. But whereas with Real Madrid, they're going to be open. They're going to be open and direct with us. So that's going to give us some chances. And we've seen, like, in the Premier League, we don't deal too well with low blocks. So I was feeling quite good in the first half because we were playing quite well. Martinelli was looking dangerous. Saka obviously looking dangerous. Odegaard looked back to his best. I felt good, and I felt like we weren't facing a team that was defending like a low block, and I felt like that, with those chances, it was giving the crowd some confidence. Well, mostly in the first 10 minutes, and then the last 10 minutes, a bit haphazard in the middle because you could see like the game plan from Real Madrid. They were going to counter attack us, and they were dangerous. They could have scored a couple of goals, but I felt good. I felt like we could definitely nick it. I was feeling like we could probably score in the second half for sure, and we did that 3 times.
I'll tell you what, with me as a Liverpool fan, if you ask me who I would want out of Real Madrid and Atletico, I would never say Real Madrid. I've learned that the hard way many times.
Come on,
bro, we lost 2 finals to them. It was hard.
And very harsh
in goal.
Too. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that 2018 one. It's been what?
When Sergio Ramos absolutely clattered Salah. I even felt sorry for you guys. I was like, come on,
and
that's just
Karius,
mean.
by the way. And Karius, 7 years on, I'm still not over that, even though we've won the Champions League. That was horrible. And then the 2022 one, we completely outplayed them, but they had Courtois in goal.
Yeah.
And then you beat him 3 times.
I think it was even harsher. I think it was even harsher that the second time around, because the first time, like Karius cooked you there. You were just done like a well done steak.
He had a concussion. I'm sorry. He had. Can we not? Just,
I am trying
the fact
to
that
your point.
Yes, I know, but he had we were much worse done by the first time because of Karius literally being elbowed in the head and nothing being done about it. And by the way, the year before, Ramos did that dive against Cuadrado for Juventus. So I promise you, as much as I can't stand noise pollution from Arsenal fans, I really didn't want Real Madrid to win another Champions League. And I would love them to just be humbled by an English club. And I'm so glad that it's finally been done. Well, there's still the second leg to go. Well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I know it's a very healthy 3-0 lead, but the return leg is at the Bernabeu. I don't know if it's 1 week or 2 weeks' time. I don't follow the Champions League. It's a stupid competition anyway.
Next week, Wednesday.
Somebody's super salty after this elimination against PSG, huh?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I actually want PSG to win it just because they haven't won it before and they haven't got any chance catching up to us in the near future. But
this is about Arsenal versus Real Madrid, not about you. This is about Arsenal Real Madrid. Let's get back on topic, bro.
All right, we'll get back to Arsenal versus Real Madrid. Okay, Jamie, I'll come to you now. Obviously, the talk this season has all been about Arsenal not getting enough goals, not needing a striker. Not having a striker, but needing a striker, maybe. Does this match sort of disprove that allegation against Arsenal for you?
I mean, first half, I said it to one of my mates earlier in the first half. There were 2 chances where Saka he'd escaped his man, crossed the ball in, and again, just all we need was a finisher, and I still think we do need that striker. It's pretty clear and obvious. And yes, we've lost Jesus and, we've lost Havertz, but it is evident that Arsenal do need to go out and get a striker. I'm sorry, but if we do not go out in the summer and really splash the cash on a striker, then there would be serious questions asked of Arteta and the board, let alone.
Yeah. All right, Michał, do you want to follow up from that one? Sorry.
No, I was actually mostly agreeing there, and I know that I do not want to ask any other questions about like any personalities because we want to do that in the second part. I'm just really curious about your basically defensive formation and whether you had any big worries coming into that game because, like, yeah, you said it at the beginning that you wanted to basically perhaps park the bus and hope for the best because Real Madrid would open up, but still without Gabriel there. This could have gone sideways.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the big talk tonight was obviously Kivior coming up against Mbappe, and I think Clive Tilsley mentioned it in commentary tonight, which was the fact that he knew, Mbappe knew that, facing up against Saliba, he kind of knew what to expect. But with coming up against Kivior, he didn't really know what to expect. Thought, actually, well, Kivior really hasn't had many minutes. I think he's only played 6 competitive games for Arsenal this season. So, thought, this should be easy pickings. But look, Kivior really kind of, shaky start from Kivior, but as the game went on, he really settled into the game. Gutting that Gabriel, we've obviously lost Gabriel for the season, but I mean, if we can give Kivior some consistent minutes, I mean, I don't see why he couldn't be a potential solid starter in future games.
I mean, I do, but I appreciate the optimism. But yes, yeah.
I would just like to. I would like to make the point we have subtly mentioned before. Not sure if it's too much that Michał is Polish, so I'm sure he'd appreciate that praise very much of his compatriot. But I'd like to also ask about Jurrien Timber, especially in the last sort of 20-25 minutes. I thought he had a great game, Craig. What did you make of Jurrien Timber's match earlier tonight?
He kept Vinicius Junior very quiet today. Ushering him out every time he got the ball. Just was so tight on him. He couldn't turn and do this. In the first half, he had a few chances, but second half was more solid on him. Couldn't get past him. He's been playing well all season. He's been very improved this season. Done very well. So I was very proud of his performance. He kept it solid. He helped Saka as well going forward as well. Made some good runs. So I have to say he had a great performance.
And final question of this part, just before we move on to the player ratings. Esmonde, I'll come back to you because you've been very vocal.
Have I?
Yeah, a little bit. But obviously, it's not done. It's only half time in this leg. You're in a very healthy 3-0 lead. What are your thoughts going into next week's return leg at the Bernabeu in Madrid?
Well, I'm confident because like history is on our side. I think out of the 12 teams, only one team has like lost from this position. I think, from looking at the stats. But like, obviously, we're gonna park the bus. We are unbeaten at the Bernabeu as well. I mean, like we got pretty much an aggregate score now, 4-0 against Real Madrid in the Champions League. So I'm confident, man. And you know we can park the bus. I know we can park the bus. Jamie knows. Craig knows we can park the bus. We'll probably sneak one. We'll probably another 1-0 to the Arsenal, get ourselves out of there, and then get ourselves to the next round. So I'm confident. I think you have to be, especially with that performance. And especially because, like, obviously, like you alluded to before, our season's pretty much over. We can't catch the team that shall not be named on this podcast. We can't.
I can name them. It's fine.
I can't name them. You never know. Some Death Eaters might appear. So yeah, like our season is pretty much like pretty dependent on this. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game.
Still, second place isn't too bad in the Premier League, really. I mean, I'm a Man United fan. I would die for a second place in the Premier League.
It's just so frustrating when you finish second for the last 3 seasons in a row now. It's like, when are we ever going to catch a break?
You know what? That's big coming from a team which previously was remembered by finishing 4th. So you know what? Give me a break, okay? Give me a break.
I actually predicted Arsenal to win the league this season, and I predicted us to be 3rd or 4th. So, I mean, I'll take it. I would have taken 2nd before the season started. But now I'm not taking second anymore.
You could take it if you want, man. You could take it if you want.
No. It's all right. You're all right.
So, Louie, shall we go to the second part, or do you still have some questions?
Yeah. That's it for the first part.
Okay, so let's hear the ad of our awesome sponsor. Let's hear this ad about some supplements. Bioniq, ladies and gentlemen.
Your body is unique. And Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimise your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
All right, so time to go into the second part. Obviously, some very excited Arsenal fans wanting to talk about Declan Rice. We'll get onto him, I'm sure. But first, we'll work our way through the team and get our individual ratings for each player. Okay, so we can go around in a circle. Esmonde, then Jamie, then Craig. David Raya, let's start with him.
Yeah, man. I mean, like a clean sheet against Real Madrid. He was pretty quiet tonight. I mean, like it's defense as well doing their work, but like, he was kept. He wasn't that active tonight. Not too active. And when he did have to be called upon, he was there. So I'd say 8.5 out of 10. Are we doing like decimal points, or is it a round?
You can do decimal points.
Okay.
You're allowed.
I'm allowed. 8.5 for Raya, please.
All right, Jamie.
Yeah, again, just going on what Esmonde said. I mean, the defense kind of done their job tonight. When he was called upon, the saves he made were relatively quite simple and straightforward. And I think for me, I'd probably have to give him a solid 9 because, the fact that you've kept a clean sheet against Real Madrid, bearing in mind you've kept, Mbappé, the usual suspects, quiet. Again, thanks to the defense, for me, solid 9.
Thanks. I don't know why, but saying thanks is so funny. I don't know why. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Barrel of laughter today into the Daily English Premier League and Daily Arsenal podcast that you're listening to, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Okay, Craig.
I'll mute myself. Solid. I thought it was very solid today. He did a great job. Got saved a lot of corners and from set pieces and regular distribution. So I'll give him a 9.5 out of 10.
Wow. Okay, so an 8.5, a 9, and a 9.5. That works out to an average of 9 out of 10. So Jurrien Timber obviously came off right at the end. But as I mentioned before, I thought he was terrific today. Esmonde, I'm sure you agree.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. And I think it's a definite 9 out of 10 because like this guy's so press resistant, man. And also he breaks up play. He starts attacks. He does everything, man, and he's playing in defense. As soon as I saw him play for us for the first time against Man City, I was like, this is a player. We got a player here, and then obviously got injured. But I'm glad he's back now. I'm glad he's got a run in the team as well. But yeah, definitely a 9 for me.
Yeah, I mean, well worth the wait, I think, when you see performances like that. So, wasn't it his first match that he got injured in? Like his very first match to break his leg.
Yeah.
Oof, that is well, we've seen the redemption arc now. Jamie, same question.
Yeah, I mean, another really good thing with Timber is the fact that he's been so good, but he's come in at a right time, especially when Ben White got injured. It's great to see him really kind of stamp his authority. I mean, you can ask Esmonde and Craig. I've been a little bit critical of Timber because I've always seen him kind of track forward, but never really and leave that right side quite exposed. But now I'm starting to see a different side of Timber, and tonight it just showed. And obviously, when I first saw him in the Community Shield, I thought, wow, what a player we've got on our hands here. So. I'd give him a solid 9.
Okay, a 9 from Jamie. Craig, finally, your verdict on Jurrien Timber, please.
9 out of 10. Quality performance tonight. Kept Vinicius very quiet, so he deserves he played very well. So I'll give him 9 out of 10.
Short but sweet. Very nice. Okay, we'll move on to the centre backs now. Some would say that this is the best Arsenal player. It's definitely worth an argument. William Saliba, the man that Arsenal fans have started comparing to Virgil van Dijk, very wrongly. I will add. Just wanted to get that in there because I haven't done any podcast with Arsenal before. But performance tonight.
That was basically the main incentive for Arsenal fans appearing today on
just
on
as
the
a disclaimer, Twitter isn't a real place. So like, in case you've been seeing those, I mean, they shouldn't be saying that. They should be saying that he's better than Van Dijk. But anyway,
I digress. Good one.
I digress. He's not the same. He's better. Yeah, man. Integral. Like, he didn't put a foot wrong from what I can remember in the match. 9 out of 10. Simple. Bish bash bosh.
Okay, Jamie.
Yeah, I'm probably going to say 9 as well. Simple, solid performer. Doesn't really put a foot wrong. So yeah, solid 9.
Is it one of those nights for him where, because he wasn't involved that much, that it just seemed like everything was going well?
To be fair, I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean, the defense kind of just had everything controlled, but I really liked the transition from suddenly when we were attacking, the fact that we just got a flood of players all just swarming like the Real Madrid's midfield and attack was just really good to see.
Okay, and finally, Craig, your verdict on Saliba.
Mr. Rolls Royce off a defender, 10 out of 10 performance. He played very well. He's the lead at the back now since Gabriel's injured, so he has to lead and help keep him on get through matches. So he's done a solid job. So 10 out of 10 for me.
That's our first 10 of the review.
That's our first 10 for Saliba. I wonder what he's going to give Rice. Right. So we've already discussed Kivior, but just quickly skim over score out of 10. Esmonde.
As you got a fellow poll in the chat, I'm gonna have to say 10. Just to give my boy the rub. Gonna have to give him a 10.
Thank you, Esmonde. Thank you.
No worries, man. It was all for you, bro.
No, but
that
you know what?
For you.
Cheers, but we really need Kivior on top form for Polish national team games, especially in June when we're going to be facing Netherlands. So the more Kivior plays somewhere, the better for us. So
everyone wins.
Please. Cheers, thank you.
Okay. Someone who has received some criticism in his debut rookie season, whatever you want to call it, Miles Lewis-Skelly. He's had a big sort of last month or so, starting for England for the first time. And this has been probably the biggest match of his career so far against Real Madrid at the Emirates. Getting an assist as well. Esmonde, starting with you, how would you rate Miles Lewis-Skelly's performance?
Oh, we just got another star boy on our hands. We've got 2 more star boys on our hands. He has to be 10. Has to be a 10 out of 10. I mean, like, to do that, like you just mentioned, like, this is his debut / rookie season in the first team against Real Madrid. With the season that he's had so far, like, to just create, an assist, creating a goal, and also just be utterly immense when it comes to dribbling out the back. Got to be a 10 out of 10.
Do you think he's handling the pressure very well at this point?
I think he has a personality type that I think he thrives off of that. He's quite resilient. And those type of players.
You say that about a lot of the young English talent now, can't you?
Yeah, which is a good thing because obviously back in the day, like, not to say they weren't resilient, but like they were at each other's throats. So when it comes to like, but they also had the problem of like the press being maybe a bit angry towards them, maybe a bit like, oh, why is he so this? Why is he so that? So he's definitely got that a backbone, but also like I think it helps that he had Bellingham set him up for a goal a few games ago in the international break. Now he's beating him at the Emirates, so it's good to see, man.
It's a good arrogance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Jamie, your verdict, please.
Yeah, I mean, again, Miles Lewis-Skelly, great player. The fact that, like you said, it's his rookie season, it's his debut season, and you'd think for someone of 18 years old, you'd think the pressure would really get to him. But I mean, wow, just put him in any situation, and he doesn't know what pressure is. He just doesn't know what pressure is, and I think we've got a really good player on our hands if we can keep him fit, and I think with the way he plays for Arsenal, if he can go and do the same for England, we really do have a gem of a player on our hands here. So for me, I'd have to go solid 10.
No pressure at all, Lewis Skelly. Get that Alan Shearer audio up right now. Craig, finally to you. Rating out of 10 for Mars Lewis Skelly.
I have to say 10 out of 10. He played in the England space for England, scored in his debut, played in the Champions League, played in so many big games this season, scored against Man City in the league. When nobody didn't know who he was at the start of the season, from the Premier League teams, and he stepped up a lot this season and done very well. So, and tonight he played against arguably one of the best teams in European football history. They're one of the best, and he played well. So I've got to give him a 10 out of 10 for his performance and his temperament as well, staying calm in the game.
Yeah.
All right, on to the midfield. Right, we'll start with Thomas Partey. Say what you want about him, but what a player he has been for Arsenal this season. Esmonde picking the only player on the Arsenal side to pick up a yellow card today. Is that an indication of the sort of player he is or the sort of match that he's had? What do you make of his performance? And obviously a rating out of 10 at the end of your verdict as well, please.
I think the yellow was a bit harsh. I mean, like, he did body check Camavinga, but I think it was a bit harsh. I mean, the referee was a bit Michael Oliver-ish today. He was just a bit weird. He seemed a bit rattled by Real Madrid's aura and was just refusing to give any free kicks. But yeah, like you mentioned, like, say what you want. But in terms of, if we're talking his performance this season, especially, he's been pretty much injury free, which is crazy. But yeah, I'd give him a solid 8 out of 10. I mean, he was solid. The whole team defended well, but obviously it's a massive part. An integral part of the team is the defensive midfield, and I think Partey broke up play well. So yeah, man, I'll give him an 8 out of 10.
Jamie?
Do you know what? I think for me, done what he needed to do tonight, apart from the yellow card. Yeah, I'll probably go with Esmonde. Also agree, 8 out of 10.
And finally, Craig as well.
I think it was a solid 8 out of 10 today. It was very solid. He's an engine on midfield. Like, he gets the ball, makes them then pass that other players don't see, and just get the game ticking. So 8 out of 10 for me as well. Very solid today as well.
All right, now on to the main man for Arsenal, Declan Rice. Okay, Esmonde, is this the best European performance you've ever seen from an Arsenal player?
I don't know about best, but it's definitely probably up there, like top 3, top 5 performances in the Champions League for sure. But boy, oh boy, can I not give him like a 20 out of 10? Can we not do that? Like,
yeah, I mean,
geez,
if you want to break mathematical law, you're more than welcome. for the purposes of football.
For the purposes of football, I think we should. But yeah, man, it's an obvious 10 out of 10, 10.5. 11, 12, 15. Give him all of the ratings. Man of the match performance. Man, like, even in his first season, he was, breaking his own records by, like, scoring more goals than he normally does, and he's adding facets to his game, like the set pieces and now the direct free kicks. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Obviously, the most expensive Arsenal player ever, I still believe, obviously. 105 million or something like that from West Ham United. Jamie, is that paying off now? Are we seeing the price tag make its whatever English phrase you want to use to...
Look, to be honest with you, as the chant says, and as I said to the boys on the group chat, we got him half price. We honestly did get this guy for half the price. And, he's just proved to be every penny spent well. And for me, yeah. Do you know what, Esmonde? I know you said like 20 and 11 out of 10. I'm giving him an infinity out of 10. You can't top that. Yeah, exactly. You can't top that.
Guys,
okay.
Just before we move on to next next assessment of Declan Rice, I just want to throw one stat right there. Declan Rice is the first player to score 2 direct free kick goals in a knockout stage match in the Champions League.
Wow.
And those are his only
one.
2 free kicks he's ever scored as well.
Mhm.
Oh my days.
That's
I mean,
actually insane. What
Could
a
you imagine
stat.
now? Like the next, could you imagine
One more.
the next international? Oh, go on.
I would love to throw one more in there.
Oh,
There
go
are
on.
5 players that have previously scored 2 direct free kicks in the same Champions League match. Declan Rice, obviously, 2025 against Real Madrid, but there are 4 more. So Hakim Ziyech against Man United, Neymar against Crvena Zvezda, Cristiano Ronaldo against Zurich in 2009, and Rivaldo against Milan in 2000.
Wow.
What great company.
Wow.
Unstoppable.
Wow. I thought you were going to at least say Messi there. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. I thought like Messi would have been up there, or wow.
Yeah.
Just wanted to throw that little snippet out there.
Messi still scored the greatest free kick ever against us, didn't he? Unfortunately.
And I've got one more stat. Wow.
Okay.
Free kick goals. Declan Rice today, 2. Kylian Mbappé in 516 career matches, 0.
No, he did score that other one, though. He did. It was a layoff, though. Do we count layoffs? That's not direct, I suppose.
not
I
direct.
suppose it's not direct.
Nah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that means Declan Rice is twice the man Kylian Mbappé could ever dream to be.
I mean, imagine the next international break that England get now. It's like, right, you know what's going to happen now. Declan, you're going to be on free kick taking duties now. Yes, Reece James, I know what you've done against Latvia was amazing. But yeah, Declan Rice, we're just going to give you the ball now. You know what you need to do. The rest is history.
Reece James, he's the best English right back, isn't he? Yeah. I'm so glad Trent's going to go to this Real Madrid team and lose, hopefully by this margin. He could get bodied by Martinelli again. I don't care, just as long as it's in the Real Madrid. All right, Craig, we won't forget about your verdict on Declan Rice. After hearing all of that, surely it can't be anything lower than a 9.9.
No, it's 10 million, 10 billion. No, it was a great.
It's still low. It's still low. It has to be higher, man.
Trillion. That was a great,
Okay.
absolutely great performance from him. So yeah, he deserves his credit where credit's due. So yeah, it's a big performance.
All right, we did brush a little bit over Ødegaard's playing well once again in an Arsenal shirt in the big occasion today. Edmund, how did he fare for you in this tricky environment against a team that he knows very well?
Yeah. I even forgot about that because it's, he was so young when he was there and he barely played for them. But you're right, yeah. Playing in an environment, he's now captaining a top Premier League side against his old club, a club that is one of the best in the world, and he turned up. Probably the best performance this season, and he's not had a great season, to be honest. So yeah, I think definitely his best performance this season. Definitely, I'm gonna give him a 9. Gonna give him a 9.
Okay, Jamie.
Yeah, I will definitely say that it's been one of his best performances in an Arsenal shirt because normally he does tend to, the last couple of games he's played, he hasn't, we haven't seen the best of Ødegaard that we've seen in previous seasons. But tonight, I feel like that we've just seen that Ødegaard that we've been missing for the last few games in our Premier League season. So for me, I'd give him an 8.
Okay, so Esmond with a 9, Jamie with an 8, Craig 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5. Yeah.
Care to elaborate?
It was an okay performance. I thought that as captain, he needs to do more. As a captain, he needs to lead. He needs. Declan Rice, if he was captain tonight, you say yeah. But I think Ødegaard did play well today. But I'm gonna leave 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, all right. Finally into the front three. I'll start with Michał Merino, the other goal scorer that we haven't really mentioned that much. But that was a very difficult finish. Filling in as a striker, something that none of us really expected. But what a finish, and really put a mark on the game, didn't it, Esmond?
I mean, not to, lean into hyperbole here, but that was, and I hate this guy, Van Persie-esque. with that left foot, man. Like the technique, like he was, tracking back and he just smashed it bottom corner. He's done brilliantly, man, since coming into the role. Like he scored a lot of goals. He scored a lot of goals for us.
He has done well.
He's got a lot of goals. And it just goes to show it's interesting. Like, yes, obviously we do need a striker, but clearly, like Arteta set up the team in a way that goals can flow from anywhere. And Moreno, man, I'm gonna have to give him. Do I give him a 10? Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 10. I'm gonna give him a 10. He was brilliant.
We're generous tonight.
You're generous.
Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't just given everyone a 10. Jamie, just piggybacking off that point, filling in that number 9 role against a team that has been champion in his country countless times. So the pressure really was on him tonight, but he performed well and got the goal over the 90 minutes. How did he do for you?
Yeah, I think with Marino, I'm starting to see. I can see him really fitting in well. Like he's got used to a role that he's not really used to playing in, and the one thing that Arteta's going to really appreciate and quite really admire about him is the fact that he can play two different positions. Because I've noticed with Arteta, he likes players that can play in two positions, and Marino there kind of is just proving week in, week out that yes, okay, he can have some good performances. And there are times where, if say we bring on a Trossard, he can then drop into that midfield and still continue playing great in that midfield. For me, I mean, the finish was something else. I have to give him a 9 for the finish because, I mean, Miles Lewis-Skelly with that ball through, and just for Marino to find the bottom corner was something else. So, yeah, solid 9.
Solid 9. And Craig, finally from you, what a goal, what a performance it seems as well, judging by what Esmonde and Jamie have said about him. Where are you placing? Are you going for a 9.5?
I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10.
Okay. A 9 out of 10 for Marino. Very few words, Craig.
Louie just overwhelmed with
I don't know how to react. Okay.
Man of few words.
Yeah, I honestly thought he was going to say something else. I didn't know whether to jump in or not.
Yeah,
okay.
But that's kind of pundit confidence, Like, if you're a good pundit, you do not need to, throw like an essay of 3,000 words as to why you think this way. You just throw 2 words in. That's it.
Okay.
Final two Matthews way.
Okay. Setting a new trend, it seems. So finally, the last 2 starting players of this side, Bukayo Saka, who obviously had his match cut short. He came off in the 74th minute. He's still coming back from that injury that set him out for an awful amount of Arsenal's season. Making his first start back in an Arsenal shirt, I believe. Esmonde, what did you think of his first match back in the starting 11?
A testament to himself and also like the team around him, like to come back and just be an instant threat. He was our main threat in that first half for sure before the goals start flowing. So our star boy is our star boy for a reason. I mean, to come back from nearly over 3 months off and to put in, I would say, a 9.5 performance. Sensational.
Okay, Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, look, Saka coming back, it's been huge. He's been so... You can tell we've really missed him down our wings. Can't really say nothing much, and apart from, I'd say a solid 9.5. The only thing I would have said would maybe, and I've said it to Craig in a previous pod as well, was maybe you could have maybe played Saka for maybe 60 minutes, brought him off, and then brought on someone like Ethan Nwaneri just to kind of, depending on the scoreline again. But, if it was 1-0 Arsenal, I would have maybe thrown Ethan Nwaneri just to kind of let him run at the Madrid defenders. But look, at the end of the day, great performance from Saka and a 9.5 from me.
Okay, Craig, I've saved this question for you just to make you actually speak.
Okay.
Obviously, I mean, everyone's been talking about Salah this season being the best right winger in the world. Where does Saka rank at the moment for you?
Right behind him.
Obviously, right behind him. So number 2, but better than Dembele, in your opinion?
Of course, bro. Sorry.
Listen, bro, I've got
I
my own
feel that
personal trauma.
I feel like with Dembele, he's only been consistent after the second half of the season. He wasn't consistent start of the season. He wasn't doing anything. He was not even in the squad at times. He didn't even play against us in the Champions League. So I would say Saka's been consistent for the last couple of seasons now. Not just, and he's been top class. So I'll say Salah, Saka, Dembele, whoever else would the name after that. So I'll definitely say that Saka's better than Dembele.
Jamie,
my
talk
honest
to me,
opinion.
man. What's going on?
Oh, just Esmond. I can't stop laughing at Esmond. That's right.
To all of the listeners who have no idea what we're talking about, check out our YouTube channel to find out what Esmond was doing there while Craig was giving his opinion. Should be the most highlighted moment of our podcast today.
We let the man speak, and he was only speaking facts.
And people wonder where Arsenal fans get their reputation from. You're sounding a lot like Twitter right now, Esmond.
What, saying that Saka's better than Dembele? I think that's a logical, sober opinion.
Wow.
All right, let's let him integrate back into the team first, and then we can maybe continue that.
Wow.
He's still got the second most assists in the Premier League whilst being 3 months out. That's
Oh.
Saka for you. That is Saka for you.
The standards have dropped.
Oh.
I'm just amazed you haven't put him over Salah at this point. No, we had someone with our resident Arsenal fan here on Daily English, Nick Bird. He actually came out earlier this season when Saka was flying. Like I think it was after the West Ham game where he was like doing beautiful corners. He said Saka's the best player in the entire Premier League after that. So there is it just runs in the fan base is all I'm gonna say.
Nick Bird does not speak for us. His views and opinions do not reflect ESPN Daily Arsenal podcast. I just want to say that. Nick, if you want to jump on the podcast, feel free. But yeah.
Like Thierry Henry would take so much insult because of that opinion. My God.
No, he meant at the time of
the time.
Yeah,
not
at the time,
of
yeah.
not of all time.
Okay.
Oh my word! If he said all time, he would kick him off GSPN for good.
My bad.
Oh my word!
And you know,
okay.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to continue. Make your point quickly. Sorry.
No. It was just another joke about how Man United is absolutely poor and how whether
we're welcoming that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
By all means.
Oh, wonderful.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Diogo Dalot, anyone? Does anybody want to teach him how to play good football? Anyone? Please. We're struggling. Martinez is injured.
Do you want to leave Maguire up front again for the rest of the season, just for the vibes?
I would love it if he scored a goal. Love it.
Love it. Yeah.
Love it.
Something that was said against Man United. Anyway, back to Arsenal. Just for the final player of the starting 11. We won't do the subs, otherwise we'll be here all night. But Gabriel Martinelli. I thought he was a big threat at times for Arsenal after such a up and down season for him. It seems like things are finally starting to click for him again, Esmond. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, you're exactly right, bro. You're exactly right. He was going through a phase where he was just like running into a cul-de-sac, or he was just so obvious in what he was going to do. But now he looks dangerous. Now he's getting past players. So yeah, and for me, it's got to be an 8.5 for tonight's performance.
Okay, Jamie?
Yeah, again, going on to what Esmond was saying, I was at the game against Fulham last week, and, my mate was telling me, look, the only problem that Martinelli has is he doesn't take on players. He doesn't, try and run past players, and saw hints of it last week, saw it again tonight, and it's good to see that Martinelli's now starting to find his feet again, because again, as Esmond was saying, there were periods where, he would blow hot and cold. So, for me, I'd probably also go 8.5 as well.
8.5. Craig, are you going to make it a hat trick?
Yeah. I feel like Martinez is playing for his future now. He knows that the new sporting director is looking at players, so he needs to play well to stay in the team.
Good point.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
He needs to start playing become more consistent, or he might be sitting on the bench a lot next season. So, yeah.
Okay, so that completes the starting 11, and we got a bit of a surprise for you in the third part. So back to you, Michał, for introducing the next advert.
And the next advert is the Zencastr, the platform which we use for producing podcasts brought to you by Global Sports Podcast Network.
Here at the Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time selecting our delivery platform. Zencastr came out as the clear winner, with 4K video recording from your phone, AI editing that automatically removes all those ums and ahs. It's super easy to start a podcast that sounds great and is delivered efficiently. If you're ready to tell your story, check out the link in the description to learn more about Zencastr. Okay, so here we have a little bit of a game that will test all three of your ball knowledge just for this final part. Obviously, as you alluded to earlier, Esmonde, the last time you went to the Santiago Bernabeu back in 2006, you won 1-0. Jamie, there is a player that was mentioned before the starting recording that you are not allowed to mention. But other than that, you're welcome to help these guys out. I want you three to work together to name the starting 11 for Arsenal back at that match in 2006. So you can all work together. I want to see if you can get all 11.
Straight off the bat, I look straight at Craig and I'm like, yeah, Craig probably knows this like the back of his hand. He's like our Arsenal encyclopedia here. And already he's nodding because he knows. So,
Should we just let Craig do this on his own? Should we let Craig cook? All right, Craig, you know what? This has turned into just you now. So the pressure's all on you. All right.
Okay.
Starting from the goalkeeper.
Jens Lehmann.
Jens Lehmann is correct. 4.
Ibue, Cedros, Torre, Flamini, Michał.
Oh my gosh, he's got it.
Leb, Gilberto, Fabregas, Reyes, Lundberg, Lev, and Henry up front.
He's done it.
He's done it. He has only gone and done it.
That's our guy.
See, and that's why he's our Arsenal encyclopedia. There you go. There you
Never
go.
test Craig Matthews again.
You know what, guys? Maybe it was just too easy for you. So maybe now you should give us the starting lineup of Real Madrid from that game.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's turn it up a notch then.
Craig, do you want to do this on your own, or do you want to invite the other two back in?
Get the other two back in. I can try and. I think I remember.
Okay.
I can go with Casillas.
Casillas in goal. Hold on. Just go one by one.
Casillas in goal.
Roberto Carlos left back.
Yep.
Oh, you took the words out of my mouth. I was just about to say that.
Okay, 2 centre backs. One of them's obvious.
Thinking.
One of them's very obvious.
Jonathan Woodgate.
Jonathan Woodgate is one of them. That was the less obvious one.
Oh my days!
What a pull!
Right back was right back. Was it?
You're forgetting a very, very big name in defence at the moment.
Sergio Ramos.
Correct.
Sergio Ramos.
There we go. Sergio Ramos was the other one. Okay, right back. I'll be very surprised if any of you get him because I have never heard of this player before. I'll give you a clue. He's Brazilian.
Cicinho.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Him?
Wow.
No way.
He's done. He's pulled Cicinho out the bag and he's
unbelievable.
Cicinho.
Okay.
Midfield was Gravison. Gravison was in midfield.
Yep.
David Beckham.
Beckham was on the right. Yeah.
Beckham was on the right. Centre was Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
Gucci is correct.
Gucci.
Left wing was.
Should we just like?
Left wing was. Who was left wing at the time? I think it was Rubinho.
Mm-hmm.
Rubinho is correct. You're missing one in midfield and one up front.
Zidane and Ronaldo. Raul.
Ronaldo is one of them.
Raul.
Not Raul.
Wow.
Midfield.
See, I was thinking Zidane, but then
Zidane is correct.
Zidane
is correct. So you have all named both. I mean,
I barely did anything.
How did he get Cicinho? That is insane.
I know.
And Thomas Gravison. Oh my gosh, that is ball knowledge
Even
right
the
there.
Woodgate one, bro. Like,
Woodgate was impressive.
I always forget he plays for them, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it was an interesting time.
It was a weird timeline.
Raul did come off the bench in that game. I mean, you've absolutely smashed it. So that's almost as impressive as the Declan Rice performance earlier tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 squats, 2 direct free kicks. There you go.
There we go. So I think that should just about wrap up the podcast. I mean, it's been a triumphant night for Arsenal. Esmonde, thank you very much. Jamie, pleasure having you.
Thank you very much for having us on.
And Craig, unbelievable ball knowledge tonight. Well done, you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Okay, stay tuned. Obviously, there is a huge match tomorrow in the form of Aston Villa. They will be up against PSG. And then on Thursday, we'll have a very special episode where we'll have a member of the Polish Broadcasting Corporation, Canal Plus, joining us to preview the Legia Warsaw match against Chelsea. Take care. Thank you for listening.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.